Okay, guys, let's get started without any further ado. So in today's class, we're going to be learning how to install the lab setup. So as mentioned, we need a tool called VMware Workstation. Luckily for us, this VMware Workstation has gotten free. So in the earlier days, this was a paid application, but now the personal use application for VMware has become a free license tool. So we go to VMware Workstation Pro 17 Pro. The latest version running right now is 17 Pro. You can download website actually. Quite a lengthy procedure though to download the application. So what I've done is I've already downloaded the file on my system, and I'll be sharing a Google Drive link to you guys. Okay, so you click on download with for Fusion or Workstation. It might ask you to log into Broadcom over here. A very lengthy procedure. You can ignore all that. Okay, so I'll be sharing this file to you myself. Okay, it's a VMware Workstation Pro 17. Okay, so just to show you the links as well. Yeah. So I'll be sharing a link like this. Okay, it'll be for the 17 Pro though. Okay, so I'll be sharing these Google Drive links to you on the email. And once you download the file, you should be getting a zip compressed file as such. Let me show you. Yeah, this is the one I'll be sharing, 17.5.2, and it's around 257 megabytes or 261 megabytes or so. Okay, so once this file is downloaded for you, you need to extract it. If you have a tool like WinZip or so pre-installed on your device, well and good. If not, you would have to download a third-party app, something like 7-Zip. So again, it's a freeware application to extract and compress files for free. So click on download here. And once this is downloaded, go back to the downloads folder. And here you can run this as admin. This installs the application for you. Okay. Once the application is installed, you can right click on the VMware 17. Right click on that, show more options, 7-Zip, and extract to VMware Workstation. This is going to extract the zip file. And in that, you can see there's an exe over here. Right click on the exe, run it as administrator. And this should start the setup wizard for us. Might take a minute to load up, so be patient with it. Yeah, it should be recorded, guys. Yeah, it's being recorded on both the apps. Yeah, it's being recorded, guys. Okay, coming back as mentioned. So once the setup wizard starts up, click on next. I accept the terms in the license agreement. Next. And nothing to change here, guys. You don't need this enhanced keyboard driver, not required. So click on next again. And you can keep this box as checked. Again, you can keep the check for products update on startup. That's okay. But don't join the customer experience improvement program. Keeps giving you unnecessary notifications. Okay. Or if you want to manually check for updates, you can uncheck this as with anything. Okay. So even if you keep them checked or unchecked, doesn't make a difference. Click on next again. And here, do create a desktop icon for shortcut. Click on next and click on install. Okay. And this starts the installation process. Now, why do we need this application? This is a virtualization software, guys. What I mean by virtualization is in one singular device itself, in this one application now, you can run multiple other operating systems. Okay. So on now, right now, currently I'm running Windows 11 on my base machine. In my Windows 11, I have this application called VMware, within which now I can run other operating systems. So this allows you to create a simulation or a setup where you can run multiple devices on one singular system. So you can click on license here now. You don't need to enter a license key because, again, as mentioned, this is free for the personal use. So you can click on skip over here and click on finish. Okay. Now, if you go back to your VMware now on your desktop, so if you go to VMware Workstation, when you run it for the first time, you won't have any virtual machines, guys. So these are my previously installed virtual machines. So the only thing you would get is the home tab here, and you'll have none of these. So let me remove Kali. I'm going to show you how to install Kali today. And if you click on help and about VMware, You can see for personal use only. This is, again, you don't need a license as mentioned. Only for a commercial use, you need a license. For personal use, you don't need any license at all. Okay. Click on OK. And now click on, oh, nothing to click on anymore here. This is your VMware workstation, guys. So in this workstation, we'll install other operating systems. Okay. So if I show this with a diagram as well. So if this is my base machine here, let's say my Windows 11 system here. Windows 11. In my Windows 11, I have an application called VMware now. VMware Workstation. And in this VMware Workstation now, I can install other operating systems. Okay. So I can install something like Kali OS. Kali. Okay. And if my Windows 11 comes with, let's say, a configuration like 1 TB hard drive and 16 gigs of RAM, let's say, from this configuration, I can borrow some to the other virtual machines. So now my Kali can borrow, okay, like something like 100 gigabytes of storage and 2 gigabytes of RAM. Okay, so while this is running, it will occupy those resources or borrow those resources from the base machine. Okay. Similarly, I can run others as Windows 7, which can borrow another 100 gigs of storage and 2 gigs of RAM. Similarly, I can run Ubuntu as well, which is running on another 100 gigs of storage and 2 gigs of RAM, let's say. Okay. So while the virtual machines are running, it will occupy 6 gigabytes of RAM. Okay. And if you shut them down, the RAM goes back to the base machine again. So it's only temporarily or virtually borrowing them. Okay. And as long as these virtual machines are installed, they'll occupy the storage as well. If you delete the virtual machine, that storage goes back to the base machine again. Okay. So this is called virtualization, where you can run multiple operating systems on one singular device. Okay. And the reason why we need this is because we need to install another operating system called Kali Linux today. So this Kali operating system, if you just search for Kali, you get the first link here, kalilinux.org. Okay. And this is one of the best operating systems available for penetration testing. Okay. Completely open source and comes pre-installed with a lot of tools required for cybersecurity, for all sorts of information security tasks, okay, such as penetration testing, security research, computer forensics, reverse engineering, whatnot. So it comes pre-installed with more than 600 plus tools specifically for all these purposes. Okay. So again, it makes your job easier. You don't need to install all these tools manually one by one. All of them come pre-installed in Kali itself. Okay. And now we can install Kali in a VMware setup. So click on download here. It will provide you two options. One is installer image and one is virtual machine. Installer image is when you want to install Kali as the base machine itself. We don't want to do that. We want to install Kali virtually in our VMware. So click on virtual machines. And here, these are all the virtualization softwares available: VirtualBox, VMware, Hyper-V, etc., etc. What we have installed on our device is VMware. The reason why I chose VMware, guys, is because it's pretty easy to understand. It has a good user interface compared to others. VirtualBox is a bit tricky. I don't like the UI. It's completely open source, though. It's free for use, okay, just like VMware as well. But again, as mentioned, the UI is not so great, okay? So it's a bit confusing. That's why I prefer VMware. But it's your choice. You can go for any one of them, okay? But since we have installed VMware on our system here, since we have VMware, we have to go for this file, okay, which is around 3 gigabytes. So when you click on download, this should start downloading a file for you, which is around 3 gigabytes, also 3.08 gigabytes. Okay. But I already have this file on my system. Let me show you. I would recommend you create a folder like this called virtual machines. And in that folder, keep all your virtual machines there. Okay. So this is the file which I'm asking you to download. It's around 3.08 gigabytes. And it's compressed, guys. So use the same application again, 7-zip. Right click, show more options, 7-zip, and extract to Kali. So now this creates a new folder with the same name and starts extracting the file. Might take a minute. Let's wait for that. And once this is installed, guys, sorry, once this is extracted, open the folder. There's one more folder and it opened that as well. And there are all these files here. And if you notice, there's one file with a very unique icon, the second one. Okay, this is the image for the virtual machine. So this is what you have to import in the VMware. Right click, open with VMware Workstation. And now you can notice in the VMware Workstation, that virtual machine has been added here. Okay. And once it's added, we just need to configure the settings for it. How much RAM do you want to allocate? How many processors do you want to allocate? What network adapter do you want to allocate, etc., etc. So firstly, click on memory. How much RAM do you want to allocate? Recommended is 2 GB. So that's already selected here. Nothing to change. Processors, your system only has one processor. So select one and give number of cores as 1 or 2. It's your choice. Anything works. Hard drive, it's occupying 80 GB at the moment. So again, allocated has been 80 GB. So right now it's running on 13, if you notice. Okay. So it can go up to a maximum size of 80 GB, not more than that. But in the entire course duration, this will not cross 20 GB also. Okay. For safe side, it takes 80 as allocated memory. Okay. But currently it's running only on 13.2 GB. That's the minimum storage required for Kali. Okay. And network adapters, here there are multiple options here. So you have to select bridged mode here, guys. Bridged in the sense, this virtual machine now starts acting as a physical machine in the same network of yours. So your base machine and the virtual machine, same network. They can communicate with each other. They can share files with each other, do all sorts of things. Okay. If you select NAT here, your virtual machine now will be in a completely different network, guys. It cannot communicate with your base machine. Okay. Only the virtual machines will be able to communicate with each other. They can't communicate with the base machine. That's what NAT is. And host only is where each unique virtual machine is in its own unique network. So it cannot communicate with any virtual machine or any base machine as well. Okay. So it's a completely isolated system. Okay. We don't want that. We want it to be in the bridge mode, communicating with all other devices. Okay. Click on OK. Oh, yeah. Shiva, I can hear you. Oh, is it Shiva?
Now, actually, you have downloaded this Kali
No,
on your
nothing as
personal
such
machine or
required.
on your virtual machine?
Oh, 1 second. Voices are getting overlapped, guys. There are multiple students speaking on different apps. 1 second. To answer your question first, Om Prakash, there's no such extra configuration required. When you select NAT, it'll have its own network, okay, for all the other virtual machines, okay? If you want, you can modify the network as well. Yes, automatically, okay? Although you will have the chance to customize it. If you want to change the IP of the entire network, you can do that as well, okay? But automatically, all the devices will get a different IP from your base machine network. Okay, right. Someone else was asking a question regarding VMware. Who was that?
Yeah, actually, when
Okay.
you are downloading the Kali, are you downloading on your virtual machine or your local personal machine?
On the base machine, right, Shiva? So in the
Yeah.
VMware, we need to install Kali, right? So you download the
Okay.
VMware and the Kali file as well on the base machine. You run the
Okay.
Kali inside the VMware virtually after that. Okay, so you need to download it on the base machine, extract the file, and then import it in VMware. And then it starts running
Okay.
virtually. Okay.
Okay. Can you please ping the paste that links, please, VMware download links?
I'll share it. I'll share it in the mail. Okay.
Okay.
Sure. Again, just a confirmation though, you should be sharing these files only to students who have registered. Have all of you registered already? Kishore, you have registered. You mentioned that yesterday itself. Faisal, Shivanand, any update on your
Not yet.
registration, guys?
I'm going to pay today.
You're gonna pay today. Okay.
Sir, I have to register.
Oh, you still have to register, Faisal. Okay, okay, okay. Good. No worries. Again, coming back to this, guys. I'll share the files. Don't worry. Where is this? Yeah, over here. So again, as mentioned, just select bridged mode here. Okay, nothing else to specify. Click on OK and click on power on. And this will start the virtual machine for you. Now, this latest version of Kali, guys, sometimes it has an error where it automatically goes into the BIOS menu. So if it goes into BIOS, just right click here and click on power and restart. Okay. So again, if not, if it doesn't go to BIOS, if you get the login screen, perfectly fine. Nothing to worry. But if it does go to BIOS, right click, power, restart. Okay. So I get the login screen here. Okay, as you can see, this is a readily installed OS. Now, don't worry if you don't know the credentials. They're mentioned in the official website itself. So if I go to this official website here, these images have the default credentials, Kali and Kali. Okay, so you can enter the username as Kali, Kali, everything in lowercase, and password is also Kali, Kali, in lowercase. Click on login, and now we have a working operational Kali Linux operating system. Okay. If you want to go into full screen mode, you can select this button here. 1, 2, 3, 4th. Fourth button from right. And this goes in full screen mode. Okay. And as mentioned, your Kali operating system comes pre-installed with all the tools required for information gathering, for vulnerability analysis, for web application analysis, for password attack, for Wi-Fi attack, for reverse engineering, for sniffing, forensics, reporting, etc., etc. All these tools are pre-installed here. Okay, and they're not available for you in any other operating system, guys. Definitely not in Windows. Okay, so that's why we need this Kali OS very mandatory. It's compulsory for the entire course. Okay. So now let me do one thing. Let me drop the links to you guys. You can drop your emails in the chat box, guys. Lab setup files, VMware link, and the Kali link as well. Please drop all your emails in the chat box. I'm going to share the files right away. Any questions or doubts up to this point regarding the installation, guys? Oh. Mm-hmm. Which virtual machine are you? Which operating system are you running on, Prakash? Why do you need 7.5 gigabytes for it? Are you running some server? Okay. That's Oh, okay, not required that much actually. So if it's a client operating system like Kali or Windows 7 or Ubuntu, 2 gigabytes or 3 gigabytes is more than sufficient. Okay. It can also run on one as well. Might be a bit slow, but again, possible to run on 1 gigabyte as well. Okay, 7.5 is too much. Yeah. You can modify it anytime. That's not an issue.
Sir, you typed my email wrong. kkvenna9 at gmail.com. You said only kvenna.
Oh,
kk.
acha,
You
acha,
should
acha.
add that.
My bad. Sorry about that. Okay, yeah, much better. Okay, am I missing out? Oh, Prakash, your email is missing. Oh, 1 second. I have only got Prakash email, not for Prakash. Yeah, I'll address you as Prakash and one as Prakash. Is which one? E. Oh, this one. Acha, Prakash, yours at Gmail. Okay, got it. Okay, guys. So I've sent you all the files today. You can download the VMware from this link, wormhole. Again, please note, this file is only available for 24 hours, guys. Okay, so this platform I'm using, wormhole, is an online file sharing platform. It uploads the file and keeps it for 24 hours. Okay, after that, the link will expire. Okay, so if you're downloading it, download it within the first 24 hours itself. Okay, and this link is not going to expire. This is the official link from Kali itself. So this will, again, stay permanently. Okay. But yeah, that's that. Nothing further for our session today. By the next session, I want you to have your VMware and Kali installed because in the next class, we're going to talk about Kali commands. So let me show you the presentation for the next class, guys, just to give you a glimpse on what we'll be learning. So we'll talk about what Linux operating systems are, how the architecture of a Linux operating system is different from Windows or Mac. Okay. So we'll talk about Kali Linux, how they are different from other operating systems, what's the architecture, what are some important folders in Linux, okay, and some commands in Linux. So we'll learn the basic Linux operation commands, very important. Okay. So we'll talk about all this in the upcoming sessions, guys. Okay. So yeah, that's that. Nothing further. Please do register the earliest if you have not registered already, guys. Okay, things are gonna get a lot more interesting from next week.
Where I have to register?
to
I am
continue-
registered with what to call.
Oh, 1 second, guys. Voices are getting overlapped again. Yeah, Kishore, you were saying something.
I'm registered with the DurgaSoft email. No,
Yeah.
anything else other than that?
No, nothing. So if you're already registered with DurgaSoft, that's enough. So I'm teaching for multiple institutes at the same time. So one link is for another institute and one link is for DurgaSoft. So again, I think Shiva and Faisal, you need to register still. So please do register with DurgaSoft. And yeah, I will accordingly go forward from there on. And yeah, Om
Okay.
Prakash, you were saying something. Acha. Oh, sure. Okay. No worries. Take your time. No worries. Prakash, on the other hand, sure. Prakash, on the other hand, I'm going to give you a call after the session, just in case. Sure. Bye, guys. See you on Monday again.
Hello.
Oh, yeah, Shivanand, go ahead.
Yeah. Actually, to continue this course, actually, do you need to do CCNA course, all those ones, and do you
No.
need any programming language?
No, not required, Shiva. I think whatever we've learned on networking, that is more than sufficient for the entirety of the course. And again, in one class, in Malware's class, I'll be explaining some part of scripting myself. So other than that, you don't need to require any other coding language knowledge. Okay. So I think all as mentioned in the demo as well earlier, all the prerequisites are included in the course itself. All you need to come along is with a system which can run all these virtual machines. That's the only requirement. Other than that, learning wise, there's nothing else. I'll be teaching everything myself from scratch. Okay.
Okay.
So, can you please explain about the syllabus, what we are going to learn in this? I am not in the first class.
No worries. Again, just to
So I
give
think
you a glimpse on it,
yeah,
let me share my
please.
screen again. I think I must have shared this documentation, or if I think it's also available on the official website of DurgaSoft as well. But this is the course curriculum, Kishore. Okay. Let me zoom out a bit. Yeah, much better. So again, what we are learning right now is, again, we have performed virtualization today, installing and managing virtual machines. In the upcoming sessions, we'll go with Linux commands, then we go with information gathering, then we go with scanning, then we go with system hacking and gaining access attacks. All of these are gaining access modules. Okay. So again, I'll be sharing the link to you, Kishore, or you must have gotten the link on your Google Drive already, the first class, where I've given a demo on basically what each of these topics are and what we'll be learning through. Okay, but just to give you a glimpse, this is the entire course content. Okay.
Can
So
you
again,
please share this to the Google Drive? No, on the first day I'm not there. On the
no,
second day I have joined.
I can drop it in the chat box here itself. 1 second. I'll share this file in the chat box. Oh, I think I've shared it only to one person. My bad.
Okay, in this session, actually, are you going to teach us how to do the hacking? I mean, any website hacking or phone hacking or anything like that one?
Yeah, again, those topics are included, right? So we learn how to perform penetration testing. So we wouldn't call it hacking per se, Shiva. We call it pen
Okay.
testing, where we try to find loopholes in systems, whether it be phones or websites, or again, your Windows operating system as well. And if those loopholes exist, how do you attack on the system? Okay. And again, how
Okay.
do you remediate them as well? How do you see to it that those loopholes don't exist in organizations in real time? Okay. So the system
Okay.
contains a vulnerability, we definitely can attack on it. Okay. And our main
Okay.
objective is to
Actually,
see.
in my organization, they are using the check marks.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So that's again a vulnerability management tool checking. We'll be using another alternative tool called Nessus, actually, which performs a
Okay.
vulnerability scan and which tells you what system contains what loopholes and how can you attack on it. Okay. Same tool, but just a different vendor, Shiva.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So the
Sir,
reason
can
why,
we use the
yeah,
can we use the older version of VMware and Kali Linux if it's already installed in the system?
yeah, anything works. Any version of VMware will work. But again, if you're using an older version of Kali, you might have to update some softwares as we run. I'll show you how to install any application or update it in the upcoming sessions. You can run any version. It doesn't matter.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, how is the market for this cyber security present? Because actually, my background is totally on production support in telecom. So actually, I'm trying to move to the cyber security now.
Just to give you a practical example of the market, Shiva, you can go to this website called jobs.null.co.in. Now, this is one of those websites. There's tons and tons of websites for cybersecurity jobs. I would prefer this one because this is built by someone called a null community. So all across the world, there's a community called the null community specifically for cybersecurity professionals. And this website is for
Okay,
India. These are all the
okay,
subdomains in cybersecurity. Okay. And you can apply jobs in any of these domains. Okay. Depending on your experience. But with our course, with certified ethical hacking, you can apply in 3 domains as such. So one you can apply in VAPT, one you can apply in SOC, okay, and the other is freshers. Okay. So if you just
okay,
click on the freshers tab itself, you can see these are all the jobs available in freshers tab. Okay. And these keep getting updated every once in a week. Okay. And this is just
okay,
one website. Okay. There's tons and tons of other websites as well. Okay. So again, trust me, the market is good in cybersecurity, it's demand. The deficit is usually in the skilled professionals who can land these jobs. So again, the reason why people keep mentioning that you need 2 years or 3 years experience in these job descriptions is there's a lack of skilled people. Okay, so they don't want just freshers who have learned things theoretically and start applying for jobs. They want people who have practical knowledge on it. Okay, so again, there is a lot of competition in this domain, but if you're skilled, getting a job is not that tough. You just need to be perfect on these tools, how to use them efficiently in an organization. Tools like Metasploit Framework, Nessus, Wireshark, Burpsuit, okay, Nmap for network and port scanning. So these tools are quite some, again, you can count them on your fingertips, but these tools are very important in cybersecurity. So if you're practically well acknowledged with these tools, getting a job is not that tough.
okay. But are you going to teach us those tools in this Kali?
Yes, that's the main purpose of this course, right? Sure. So we'll be working
Okay,
whatever tools I've mentioned, and a lot more than that. I will be teaching you practically in these
okay,
sessions. Okay.
okay,
So be working on all those tools which I've mentioned and a lot more as well.
okay.
Sir, internship there. Can with your certification, can we apply for internship there?
Definitely, you can. So again, as mentioned, internship is for people who, again, even if without the certification as well, they can apply. The only thing is, again, they're trying to learn things. So you need to be from a computer science background. That's the only requirement. Okay, you don't even need a certification for internship. Okay, if you're applying for a job and if the company puts a criteria that you should be certified, then you might have to need a certification. Other than that, for internships, no certificate required at all. Faisal.
Okay, sir.
Can I ask on the DevOps or DevSecOps? You said there is no what we need to learn on the DevOps or DevSecOps. You
I
see
never
here
mentioned
on the
DevSecOps, Kishore. I only mentioned these
sorry.
3 parts. Again, SOC or VAPT or freshers, this freshers or internships category. DevSecOps is completely different, where you're trying to develop applications and automatically check for vulnerabilities in the source code as well, or in the operations as well. So that is completely different, a part of cybersecurity itself. So again, when you add security to DevOps, that becomes DevSecOps, obviously. Okay, developing automatically and checking the operations as well. But even from a perspective of security wise, is the code secure in the development field, and are the operations that are being performed secure as well? So again, a different course altogether. We don't include DevSecOps and CEH. Okay, I don't
What
teach that.
about cloud security? Cloud security you see here at the second
Again,
and last.
definitely a
Yeah.
different domain altogether, but a part of it is included in CEH. Okay, so CEH is basically a course which it's like a master of none, jack of all trades kind of deal, where you touch each endpoint. You talk about cloud security, you talk about mobile security, you talk about SOC analysis, you talk about network security. All sorts of pen testing are included, but only up to intermediate level. After that is done, you choose one specialization. Okay, just like how you have MBBS, and after MBBS, you choose a certain specialization. You go towards, ENT or, orthopedics or whatnot. You choose one specialization. Similarly, in cybersecurity as well, the CEH course is your MBBS. Okay, you learn all of them in the 5-year program, just like in MBBS. And then after that, you choose one specialization. My specialization is web security. Okay, so for students who are interested in web security, I teach advanced courses after CEH is done. Okay, so yeah, that's to give you an idea on what the course is about and what we'll be learning. Kishore. Hello.
Yes, I also want to ask why, because I'm a DevOps engineer and I
Oh,
also want to learn the DevSecOps as well. That's why I ask. I have good experience, 8 years experience as a DevSecOps engineer. Now they are asking on the security perspective, so I'm trying to learn this thing. Is it going to help me?
again, as mentioned regarding pen testing for all domains, yes, Kishore, but we will not be going through any source code testing. That's the issue. Because in DevOps, you definitely have to know some part of development knowledge. Again, checking the source code. That is not included in CEH. Okay. What we learn is pen testing on all endpoints, whether it be network security, system security, web application security, and mobile security or cloud security as well. Okay. But in all of these security fields, we will never be touching source code anywhere, because in DevOps, you usually go through the source code. You have to understand how the application is built at the development level. Okay. So that is again one thing which we will not be covering in CEH, to be frank.
Okay, not an issue, not an issue.
Right.
Thank you.
Any other questions, guys? Okay, assuming no questions, let's connect back on Monday, guys. So if you have not registered, please do register at the earliest. From Monday, the link will change. Okay. And that will only be provided to the registered students. Okay. So have a good weekend. See you on Monday again. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys. Bye.